Some months ago, I bought the Robotech Tactics kit with the additional Battlecry add-on. Some of the figures were built, but most weren't. I've been working hard to get enough mecha built to play the game, so today I'm going to show my progress. Then I'm going to do some unboxing. I have a few figures from Kids Logic. I have a Mach 2 monster and a female battle pot. And spoiler alert, they're pretty cool. And lastly, I'm going to unbox some terrain from Drop Zone Commander. I would like to do a follow-up episode on some rules and maybe even a playthrough. If you'd like to show support for the channel, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed, and this will help me bring new Robotech content to our community. Okay, let's start discussing Robotech. When I bought my Tactics set on eBay, a few of the figures were painted. Some of them were built, but not painted, and I really appreciated that since they could be a pain to put together. If you'd like to see that original unboxing episode, link is in the description. My kit had quite a few battle pods already painted, and I did like the paint job, but I wanted my figures to look more like the anime. So the first figures I assembled were the battle pods, and they were actually fun and easy to put together and a good size. I really wanted to get as close as the colors from the original series. I started with Army Painter's white primer as a base coat. I used Vallejo's electric blue and carmine red. I really liked the blue paint. I think it matches well. I also used a coat of gloss. That is the closest thing I could find to match the anime. I did finish up with a Gundam detail pen. So far, I've completed 7 battle pods. The officer's battle pod was already built, so that was pretty cool. But the pictures of the book, it had a blue tint, but in the original series, I thought Chiron's battle pod was all white. So I used Vallejo's Glacier Blue. Maybe in the next one, I'll do all white and see what I prefer. I have not started yet on the recovery pods. That's a mecha that captured Lisa's Cat's Eye Recon. I would have rather had a theater scout, the one called the Cyclops. That thing's a beast. It can take a hit, and it does a good amount of damage. In fact, it was even used by the REF in the Sentinels rulebook. I recently bought an Officer's Battle Pod set for a good price. It was primed and it's all ready to go, but I'm currently painting the Mad Mage's board game, so I'll get back to painting Robotech soon. The previous owner already built out 3 Battloids in the brownie color scheme, so I thought that would be an actual good way to start. I could get my feet wet painting the brownies, and maybe when I'm better, I'll try to tackle Rick Hunter's Veritech. But I really haven't found a color I like for the brownies yet. I used Army Painter's Skeleton Bones. Let me know if you found one. I finished 6 brownies in all modes. As people who've built them probably know, those Veritechs have so many tiny parts, and they're a true pain to build. I had such a problem with the missiles, I even skipped them when I built the jet modes. They kind of aggravated me. The stack of 3 short-range missiles seemed to be my mortal enemy. But they actually make the figures look so much better when they're fully assembled. I've completed some Destroids, but first I want to talk about the names. They seem to completely change in Robotech Tactics. The Excalibur is now the Tomahawk. I'm kind of neutral to that change. Both are okay. The Gladiator is the Spartan. I thought the Gladiator was a better name since it seems to be primarily a hand-to-hand fighter and even uses a club. But the Spartan name is okay too. The Raider X is now the Defender. Okay, that name actually does make sense because it seems like that mecha, its role is anti-aircraft and anti-missiles. The Spartan is now the Phalanx. Okay, that Phalanx name does make sense because it's a missile platform and it protects and shields its forces with all of its missiles. But it's just confusing to me since I've been using the original name so long for several decades. Let me know in the comments if you have any information on why Palladium made these name changes. I haven't started yet on the Gladiator/Spartan. That's the one with the arms. I'm kind of getting confused too with this name change, but I have completed all the other designs. The mecha chosen for the first wave are pretty solid. There's definitely enough variety to have a fun game, but there's some mecha that I wish they would have included. For instance, they're missing the Mach 2 monster, the Super Veritech, Armored Veritech. What's great is Kids Logic makes figures and games based on Macross. Literally, 2 of my favorite Robotech mecha are now available. The first one I bought was a Mach 2 monster. What's great is that it doesn't have tons of tiny little parts. Can you imagine how many parts the figure would have been if it was included in Robotech Tactics? In the Kids Logic set, all you need to do is assemble the body, legs, arms, and cannons. The one thing is, it does seem a little bit small, but I guess we'll have to see when we get everything assembled. The second mecha is the Zentraedi female power armor. This one's my favorite, but I do have mixed feelings about it, since it took out my personal hero, Roy Folker, but it is a really cool design, and at least you could play it this way. What is nice is the stats and paint schemes for these figures are still included in Robotech Tactics, so they could be slotted right in. At some point, I'll have these painted, so be on the lookout for these videos. They should be up soon. I never played a miniature game before. I remember going to the game stores and being absolutely amazed at the detail of all those miniatures on the tables, but they seemed so daunting. I really didn't know how to start playing or what terrain was absolutely necessary. Getting Robotech RPG Tactics seemed like a good way to get my feet wet on this type of game. I did look at older RPG Tactics videos, and many of them use the Drop Zone Commander terrain. It included battle maps and even paper buildings, which seemed like to be on the same scale as Robotech Tactics. I bought Drop Zone Commander RuneScape. It has 20 randomly assorted buildings and 4 2x3 gaming posters, which I guess are the battle maps. Thanks, Robotech fans, for watching. If you made it this far, please give me a like. It would definitely help the channel. And if you didn't like this video, I still appreciate your time. I hope to have future videos of a rules breakdown and even some playthroughs. So let me know in the comments if you played Robotech Tactics and what you think of the play mechanics and then the figures. Also, feel free to let me know if you have any tips for me. And I'll see everybody on the next adventure.